Good morning. Good morning. Basically, it's a continuation of our talks on spiritualism. When we talk about spiritualism, human mind becomes a very integral part of spiritualism because it's all about mind. And when we say mind, it's not your mind or my mind. It's a nature of mind that humans have built over the period of existence. So we have a very unique type of mind, and this mind is similar in nature with the monkey mind. Just now, it's so rudimentary, at a rudimentary level, that the difference between human mind and monkey mind is not. It may not be so much, that because we just are entangled in desire, pleasure, and we want to avoid pain. And this nature of mind is very common in every other animal. They just want to forbid the pain and always look for a pleasure, and that's what is our mind. And this mind, it's never it's never stable. It's always moving. As soon as we have a pleasure, we get scared. We get scared that this pleasure is not going to last, and I'm sure after some time the pain is going to come. And as we have pain, we want pleasure. We want, this bogging is always there. This pain and pleasure is nothing but a nature of mind. Actually, it's not going to stop. We think that if I have this, particularly if I achieve this, then probably my mind will be peace, and I may be happy. But that doesn't happen. Even if something happens, that peace will be there for a moment when your expectation is fulfilled. But right to the next moment, you will be scared that you will be losing this peace, and in a moment later, you will absolutely lose that peace, and you will still be suffering. So this very nature of the mind is very important that we understand, how this mind works. And this will always be there. It's not going to change. So what is that actually is permanent? Permanent is something we have to achieve an equilibrium between this lust for a pleasure and a scaredness of a pain. And if there is an equilibrium in the middle, and to be at the middle, you really have to sit alone. That without when I say alone, your mind should not be distracted, your body should not be distracted, and what you consume, what you eat, actually that stimulates, what we eat, that will naturally have a very big impact on the way we think, because what we eat will have a chemical inducement in our body, and those chemicals, like dopamine, endomorphin, this dopamine that will have that will motivate us, that will release free us from stress. And this endomorphin is something that will cure our pain. When we have pain, we release endomorphin, and then it enhances the release of dopamine, something like that. There is a scientific basis, and it's all about food that we eat. That body is all food. This body is made out of food which we have eaten for so long, and it's grown up to this size. So the mind is basically, we must create a balance of what we eat, and how we manage it, how we understand it. It's just the understanding. It means people say enlightened. When you say enlightened, it's just the understanding. That understanding and the acceptance is there in every cell. That yes, this is the nature of mind. That acceptance, if it imbibes into, if it take an osmosis into every cell, that you accept, yes, this is the nature of mind, and this is the nature of world, this is life, this is reality, this is suffering, this will be always there, today, tomorrow, irrespective. best food, if I just treat you for 4 5 meals continuous of your best taste bud food that really sounds good in your taste bud, thereafter after 4 5 meals you will start eating that very best food that you define for yourself, right? That's how it happens. So basically understanding that, we understand when I talk, I understand when I say something, I understand, but after few minutes, after few seconds of understanding, I again revert back to the suffering. Oh, this didn't happen, this didn't happen, this should happen, here I'm lucky, here I'm unlucky, this person is good, that person is bad, all these definitions come, and it's natural. So that acceptance has to be built, or that acceptance has to come naturally. Here I I get the acceptance when I force myself, but the enlightened state is you're naturally acceptable to everything. That is being enlightened. When suffering comes, it doesn't care, and pleasure comes, it doesn't care. That acceptance, when it comes as a natural response, you know, you when you what people say, you meditate, you become peaceful. That's if your mind is running from one door to another, one mountain to another mountain, to one to another, then you are not meditating. If you just cannot concentrate on your reality around, on your existence, present moment, then the meditation has no meaning. So when you really meditate, start with 4 5 minutes, 5 4 5 minutes of dedicated meditation, where you just be within yourself. You don't think of pain, you don't think of pleasure. Say 1 minute, even if 1 minute is great enough. If you can maintain your mind in that state for hours, then you are enlightened, right? So that's the equilibrium that you have to learn how to maintain, and it will take a lot of practice. It will take a lot of sacrifice and there is no charm in it actually. If you just want charm in something, then there is no charm in even enlightenment or charm in understanding everything, because deep down, every one of us have that insecurity, that's bogging us, that yes, I'm not permanent, and nothing is permanent. That acceptance also has to come from that meditation, and nothing is permanent. So this boggingness, if it has to go, we really have to sit in silence. Silence, not only inside, as outside, silence inside, that it has to be silent. Your priorities in life has to be sorted out. Money should not be a problem for you. Food should not be a problem for you. You should not be a problem to your families and all. So all these things should be sorted out clearly to you. Because if one thing is just hurting you, if you have a piece of something in your tooth, that will drive your concentration there. You will always be touching it with your tongue, right? That's how it is. If you have one little problem, we cannot. If you think one particular thing is a problem, then we cannot be at that equilibrium state. This monkey mind will always be playing in us. We'll be jumping, and that acceptance, yes, this monkey mind is there, and this will jump from here to there, and I'm not jumping, it's just the mind that's going, and you have to keep aloof from yourself, aloof from that mind, a separate entity from a mind. You have to sometimes think that mind is a different entity from you, so that you can distance yourself from what is happening around. You are a peaceful person, you are a happy person, you are just a loving person. So it doesn't make any difference to you whether you lose, win, or you're just working to survive, right? That's more important. That's how equilibrium can be built, I feel. But I've not been to that track. It's just the assumptions from the way I do my brainstorming. I do brainstorming of how it can be, and I feel that way. When we can really stay at an equilibrium, that pain, pleasure is not definitive, fear and greed is also not there. When all these things are not there, you are just living, a living entity that is being enlightened. The problem in life is very less. Actually, Actually, when you just, if you see life, our needs are always very simple thing. We don't need many things and to survive in this world. Needs can be met. It's very easy. But whenever it's wants, it's unlimited. Even if you are given this world, it won't be sufficient. This world is not sufficient. You are given a universe, that won't be sufficient. You will still be looking, and wants are never unlimited. That's why it's wants. But if you just see needs, we just need 3 meals, a small bed to sleep. That's it. If you get 3 meals and a bed to sleep, life is done. There's absolutely no problem. But when the problem comes is when we have so much of wants. When we compare, when the world is making every day new product to feed on you. Feed on your wants. It's making a need. Unnecessary need for you, and actually those are not requirements of life. So, but this you can't stop also. This greed you can't stop. This greed is developing all these things. This greed is developing technologies. This greed is developing this world. Convenience, greed, all these things are necessary because this is developing everything around. So this is nothing bad. If you just say that greed and need and wants are bad, no, it's not bad. These are the things that's driving the development, that's driving a human sustenance. So these are also important. So all these things you have to understand. And this mind is a very complex thing. It's one complex instrument, and by, it's very important to learn ourselves to be more literate about mind, and to so that as soon as we have something that's bothering us, we really understand that yes, this is there. This is a natural response of my mind. So I must work sometimes because you have some problem. Unless you finally develop the acceptance that yes, nothing can be done. This is the problem, and I have to carry on. Then only it will subside. It will stop looking for solutions. Otherwise, our mind will be continuously looking around for solutions. Where if this may be working, that may be working. So that's the nature of mind. So that acceptance has to develop. So all these things as we can understand mind, and by just brainstorming ourselves, by just just simply sitting and following what you are feeling, pain, pleasure, why it is feeling, what was the consequences, all these things. If you can manage, this is mind. Let's learn more about mind. And next week I'll definitely come with something more on mind and more on spiritualism, more of understanding on this. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Tish Dili.